Let's be honest with each other for a second. Trade doesn't always go as planned. We spend hours analyzing charts, looking at indicators and reading the news, but the one variable we can never fully account for is ourselves. We are humans. We are wired for survival, and in the world of trading, those survival instincts, fear and greed, are often our worst enemies. We make emotional decisions when we should be making mathematical ones. I'm making this video because I want to be transparent about a mistake I recently made. I took a trade where I did the one thing you are taught on day one never to do. I adjusted my stop loss while the trade was active. I watched the price action move against me, felt the panic rise in my chest, and instead of letting the trade exit at my predetermined risk, I moved the stop further away. I gave it room to breathe. It didn't breathe. It suffocated. It ended up being a massive loss, one that stung not just because of the money, but because it was entirely preventable. Looking back, that loss could have been avoided by simply doing nothing, by following the rules I had already written down. Today, I want to explore why we do this and how you can stop yourself before you head into the danger zone. Think about how you use a GPS in your daily life. You're driving to a new city, a destination you've never visited. You've plugged in the coordinates, and the GPS says, in 200 yards, turn right. You follow it because you trust the data more than your own intuition in an unknown place. Now, imagine if, for some random reason, you decided to ignore the voice. You see the turn, you know it's the right way, but you think, I feel like going left instead. Would you actually do that in real life? Would you intentionally head into an area where you have no map, no directions, and no idea where you are, knowing you're likely to get lost? Of course not. Trading is exactly the same. Your trading rules are your GPS. They are designed when your head is cool, before the money is on the line. The moment you adjust your trade mid-flight, you are turning off your GPS. You are heading straight into the danger zone. Once you move that stop loss, there is no way back. You have entered the unknown. You aren't trading a strategy anymore. You are trading on hope, and in this market, hope is the fastest way to a blown account. To have a clear direction, you need a clear set of rules. It sounds simple, but simplicity is where the power lies. Most people fail in trading for two very basic reasons. They don't have a set of rules, or they have them but refuse to follow them. A professional trade consists of only two parts: having a clear set of trade rules, following those rules without exception. If you lack either of these, you aren't trading, you're gambling. Imagine driving that same car, but instead of listening to where to turn, you just take your own turns whenever you feel a hunch. What are the odds you reach your destination? Probably zero. You'll run out of gas or end up miles from where you intended to be. If you want to reach the destination of a profitable bank account, you have to stay on the road that your rules have paved for you. The less is more philosophy. Here is a hard truth. Less is more. In most areas of life, the harder you work and the more you do, the more you get. In trading, the less you do, once a trade is live, the better you perform. I've found that by having strict rules in place, I actually spend less time looking at the screen. I'm not constantly checking my phone or refreshing my app. Why? Because if I'm doing it right, I am simply waiting for my setup. If the setup isn't there, there is nothing to do. If you find yourself constantly checking your phone, looking for a reason to enter or a reason to move your stop, that is a sign that you are not trading a plan. You are looking for action. Let me be very clear. Even if you get lucky and win a trade after breaking your rules, that is not a success. In fact, a bad win is more dangerous than a good loss. Why? Because it reinforces bad habits. It gives you a false sense of security. Further down the timeline, you will lose far more than you gained because you've taught your brain that the rules don't matter. For a long time, I used to tell people, I am a trader. And while that was true, my mindset was focused on the flip, the win, and the action. Over time, my perspective shifted. Now, If you ask me what I do, my answer is different. I am an investor. What is the difference? A trader often gets caught up in the emotions of the day-to-day fluctuations. An investor has a different job description. My only job as an investor is to move my capital to where it can get the highest return with the lowest risk. Think about that for your next trade. An investor doesn't move their stop loss because they feel like it. An investor executes a plan. They treat each trade as an equal unit of data. They don't get too excited when there is a huge win, and they don't get depressed when there is a loss. They know it's all in the numbers. I know it's hard. I know the danger zone looks tempting when you are trying to avoid a loss, but you have to embrace those losses. Accept them as the cost of doing business. Each day is a learning curve and a stepping stone. A failed trade is not a failure of character, it is a lesson. Keep your head cool. Follow your trades. Execute your plan as it was written in the quiet moments of the morning, not the chaotic moments of the afternoon. Treat yourself like a professional investor. Carry each day as a success simply because you stayed disciplined and keep moving forward.